Welcome to Stoic Today, YouTube. We're truly honored you're here. This isn't just a channel, it's a sanctuary for those who choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and silence over show. Before we begin, take just one powerful moment. Click the subscribe button, leave a meaningful comment, and become part of a rising movementa community of men and women who don't follow the crowd. They rise beyond it. Thank you for your presence. Now, prepare yourself for something deeper, something most people don't have the courage to speak aloud. Why people secretly envy you? What if the quiet glances, the unreturned texts, or the sudden distance you feel from others aren't signs of indifference but of silent admiration they're too afraid or too proud to express? Could it be that your unwavering consistency, your silent discipline, and your refusal to lower your standards are the very things that disturb the comfort zones of those around you? Because when you begin to rise, when you elevate in silence while others remain stagnant, your very existence becomes a mirror. A mirror they might not be ready to face. Here's the truth. Envy doesn't always show up as hate. Sometimes, it looks like silence. It looks like distance. Subscribe to Stoic Today right now and fuel your journey with daily content rooted in timeless wisdom, unwavering discipline, and the mindset required to rise above mediocrity. Drop a comment below. What's one powerful trait you've developed, something others may overlook, but you know is your superpower? Share this message with someone who's rising in silence, just like you. The world may not say it aloud, but it's watching. Now go be unforgettable. Look around you. Whether you notice it or not, eyes are on you. They're watching your every step, analyzing your every win, waiting for the moment you slip only to be stunned when you keep rising. When you enter a room, the atmosphere shifts, and conversations falter not because of your presence, but because of what it represents: unapologetic growth. What you feel is not tension, it's the weight of quiet admiration masked as envy. It's the spotlight that follows those who refuse to fold. That, my friend, is envy, and it's the shadow that follows excellence. But here's what they don't tell you about envy. It's not really about you. It's about what you represent. What you remind them of, the possibilities they've abandoned, the dreams they've compromised on, the comfort zones they refuse to leave. What people truly envy isn't the car you drive or the clothes you wear, it's the courage you have to live authentically. They don't long for your lifestyle, they crave your freedom, your unwavering commitment to self-belief. Your refusal to shrink yourself to fit in threatens their comfort. It highlights everything they abandoned, dreams they gave up on, chances they were too afraid to take. Your existence becomes a reminder of what's possible. I didn't have connections. I didn't have privilege. What I had was something they couldn't take away. The absolute conviction that my life meant something. That's what they envy. Not your car, not your house, not your bank account. They envy your unshakable belief that you deserve to be in the room. Because, let me tell you something, this world is designed to make you doubt yourself, to make you believe that dreams are for other people, that success belongs to some special class of human beings that doesn't include you. And when you reject that lie, when you stand tall and claim your place anyway, it disrupts the entire system. The sharpest jabs often come cloaked in sarcasm or concern. But understand this, harsh words are reflections, not reality. They come from those who see your courage and realize they've played it safe. They don't hate you, they're just haunted by the version of themselves they never had the strength to become. And when your presence forces them to confront that truth, envy becomes their shield. I'm not talking about arrogance. I'm talking about the quiet dignity of someone who knows exactly who they are and refuses to apologize for it. Someone who understands that their worth isn't up for debate. You know what separates the extraordinary from the average? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's the willingness to keep going when everyone else quits. To get up one more time than you fall. To stay on the battlefield when everyone else has gone home. The path to greatness is lonely for a reason. Not everyone is willing to pay the price. Your resilience, your ability to transform pain into power, that's what truly makes them envious. Because deep down, we all recognize that life's greatest victories come after our most devastating defeats.
When you refuse to be defined by your failures, when you use them as fuel instead of excuses, you become unstoppable. And unstoppable people change the world. The truth is, most people don't want your journey. They just want your results. They see where you are, but they don't see what it took to get there. The sleepless nights, the self-doubt, the sacrifices, the prayers, the tears. But you know, and that knowledge, that intimate relationship with struggle gives you something they can never touch. Wisdom that can't be bought, strength that can't be given. You've earned every callus on your hands and every scar on your heart. Your vision stretches beyond immediate gratification to lasting legacy. While others chase comfort, you chase impact. While they worry about looking good, you focus on doing good. While they consume, you create. That's why they watch you. That's why they talk about you. It's why they secretly wish they were you. Not because your life is perfect. It isn't. In a world addicted to announcements, silence is power. While others need applause to act, you move in quiet conviction. Your discipline screams louder than their noise ever could. The world doesn't know how to process someone who trains in the dark and rises without fanfare. That silence, that focused restraint, it's what shakes rooms. It's what inspires fear and awe at the same time. People don't understand how dangerous quiet discipline really is. They can't wrap their heads around how someone can grind in the dark, stay committed when nobody's watching, and still come out shining. You don't talk about your every move. You don't need to broadcast your plans. You don't oppose your hustle. And that drives people mad. Because in a society addicted to noise, your silence becomes the loudest thing in the room. You wake up early when no one's clapping. You sacrifice when there's no audience. You train your mind, control your emotions, stay consistent even when no one's watching or praising you for it. That's power. Real power. And people feel it even when you're not trying to show it. Your silence makes noise in their spirit because it exposes everything they're not doing. It makes them uncomfortable. It stirs up their guilt, their procrastination, their excuses. You're not out here telling the world how hard you're working, yet somehow they feel it. That's the kind of presence that can't be faked. They start to whisper. They wonder how you're making moves without asking for permission. They resent the fact that, while they are still explaining themselves, you already made peace with your process. And here's the part that stings them most. You didn't ask for credit. You just showed up every day, quiet, steady, unshaken. And now your results are speaking volumes. Your silence, your discipline, your refusal to quit. It's louder than their complaints, louder than their judgment, louder than all the noise they use to hide their inaction. That's why they envy you, because you made silence scream. There's something threatening about a person who's willing to do what others avoid. Not just because of what they're doing, but because of what it reflects back. You see, when you start growing, when you begin making sacrifices, taking responsibility, walking away from comfort, people don't just watch you, they feel exposed by you. Without even trying, you become a mirror. Your dedication, your evolution, your change. It forces them to see themselves. And for some, that's too much truth to handle. You're not out here trying to make anyone feel small, or you're just doing what you were called to do. But your actions remind them of the potential they've ignored. Your focus reminds them of how easily distracted they are. Your progress earned through sweat, pain, and patience puts a spotlight on the shortcuts they keep chasing. And that's uncomfortable because deep down they know the truth. You're not better than them. You just made a decision they weren't willing to make. The moment you started choosing growth over gossip, discipline over comfort, purpose over popularity, you drew a line in the sand. You didn't announce it, you didn't need to, your life started doing the talking. You stopped settling. You stopped entertaining mediocrity. You started becoming something they said they wanted to be but never truly committed to. And now your presence feels like pressure. That's why the vibe shifts when you walk in the room. That's why they joke about you changing. It's not just envy, it's self-reflection. Because every time you rise, it reminds them they stayed the same. You represent what's possible when someone stops making excuses. And for people still living inside their comfort zone, that truth hurts. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you did everything they wouldn't. In a world that reacts to everything, every post, every opinion, every insult, you stand out simply because you don't. You don't take the bait. You don't let emotion control you. And that kind of self-mastery, that's rare. That's dangerous. That's powerful. People envy you not because you're always doing more, but because you've learned how to do less of what doesn't matter. You don't waste energy proving yourself. You don't argue just to be right. You don't crumble under pressure. You choose your responses with precision, like a warrior who knows every move has a cost. Most people live in reaction mode. Someone says something slick, they snap. Someone doubts them, they overcompensate. But you've trained yourself to pause, to breathe, to calculate. And that control, it unsettles people because your calm exposes their chaos. Your patience highlights their impulsiveness. Your ability to stay composed in the face of disrespect, uncertainty, even failure. It shows them just how much they still have to grow. They don't understand how you walk away from drama, how you stay so focused when there's noise all around you. But you learn something, they have it. Not everything deserves your attention, your emotion, or your time. You don't flinch at criticism. You don't fall for distractions. You don't engage in battles beneath your purpose. And that kind of discipline that scares people. See, when someone can't control you emotionally, they lose power over you. And when you operate with that kind of peace, that kind of clarity, it shines, it intimidates, it even offends. Not because you're arrogant, but because your energy doesn't feed their chaos. You become untouchable, not by being aggressive, but by being grounded, and that level of self-debt. You don't need the spotlight to feel seen. You don't need praise to feel valuable, and that alone separates you from the crowd. In a world starving for validation, craving likes, applause, and attention just to feel worthy, you've chosen a different path. You've built your self-worth from within. You've learned how to move without approval, how to keep going without a cheer squad. And that deeply bothers people who still depend on external validation to survive. See, when you're not asking for attention, you automatically take control of the room. When you don't chase it, it somehow finds you. And the people who've made attention their currency can't stand that because your power isn't loud. It's not flashy. It's not desperate. It's steady. It's internal. It's earned. And that kind of presence, pure, grounded, unapologetically whole, is rare. People envy that, even if they don't say it out loud. You've learned how to clap for yourself. You've learned how to keep showing up without an audience. You've mastered the art of walking alone without feeling lonely. And that quiet confidence that unsettles the insecure. Because while they're measuring their worth by how many people watch them, you've already defined yours by how many times you refuse to quit. You've made peace with the fact that growth is often unnoticed. That healing isn't always public. And that the best parts of your journey don't need to be shared for them to matter. That's the part they don't understand. They think your silence is weakness, but it's actually strength. They think your solitude is loneliness, but it's actually power. You've broken free from needing approval. And for those still trapped by it, your freedom feels like a threat because you don't need permission to be great. You already decided you were. Most people are chasing crowds. They want to be seen, liked, reposted, followed. But you're chasing meaning. You're not here to entertain. You're here to evolve. While others bend and shift to fit in, you've chosen to stand firm. You're not adjusting your purpose to be popular. You're not watering down your truth so it can be easier to digest. And that's exactly why people envy you. You walk a path that's not paved by opinion. You walk in purpose. And that intimidates those who still live for applause. See, when someone moves with intention, you can feel it. They don't waste steps. They don't move to impress. Every action, every word, every decision, it's aligned. That's you. You're not out here performing for approval. You're out here building something deeper, something that lasts. While others are obsessed with going viral, you're committed to going authentic. That's what shakes people, because they can't fake what you have. They can copy your style, your words, even your routine, but they can't replicate the reason behind it. They don't have your why. You walk like you know where you're going. And that kind of clarity, it makes people nervous because it's not something you can borrow. It's something you've earned. You've turned down opportunities that didn't align. You've walked away from circles that didn't match your vision. You've paid the price of purpose and now you carry the reward. Peace. That peace, that centeredness, it radiates and people feel it even when they all understand it. They envy the way you move without second guessing, the way you speak without needing to be agreed with, the way you stand alone and still stand strong. Because when popularity fades, and it always does, purpose is what remains. And you built your life on something they can't take away. Your presence holds a power that most people can't explain. It's not the way you speak or the way you carry yourself. It's the energy you give off. You walk into a room and without saying a word, people take notice. Your confidence doesn't come from bragging. It doesn't come from seeking attention. It comes from knowing that you've already done the work. The kind of energy you carry is intimidating to those who haven't found their own strength yet. You don't need to announce your worth because your actions, your choices, your very presence say everything that needs to be said. You don't have to speak to make an impact. You don't have to boast to be noticed. People watch you because they sense something deeper, a quiet assurance that they haven't figured out for themselves. The truth is, your energy isn't just felt in the room. It's felt in everything you do. When you walk with purpose, you give off an energy that forces others to reckon with their own lack of it. People are drawn to you, yes, but they're also subconsciously pushed away because your certainty shines a spotlight on they envy your calm because it's contagious. They envy your composure because it shows them how chaotic they've been. Your energy, that focused determination acts like a mirror for those around you. It forces them to confront their own insecurities, their own distractions, and that's what makes them uncomfortable. You aren't trying to make them feel bad. You're simply living in your own power, and that reminds them of the power they've yet to tap into. What they see in you is not just success or confidence. It's a quiet storm of inner strength that challenges everything they believe they can't do. And that, my friend, is what they envy. Because you walk through life with an energy that's untouchable. You've seen the truth today. The power of silence, purpose, discipline, and energy. Now, it's time to ask yourself, what are you going to do with this knowledge? Will you keep letting others define your worth? Or will you step into your own power and own your greatness? It's your choice. You've got the tools. Now it's up to you to use them. If you're ready to rise, ready to walk in purpose, and ready to live the life they secretly envy, then it's time to take action. Don't wait.
Stop waiting for permission. Stop looking around for someone to validate your path. You don't need applause to begin building the life you were born for. No one needs to understand your vision, it's yours, and that's enough. Your growth, your greatness, your next level, it's all waiting on one thing. The moment you stop hesitating and start deciding, not tomorrow, not someday, today. And if this message stirred something inside you, if it cracked open the part of you that knows it's time to rise, don't ignore it. Don't scroll past it, honor it. Like this video if you're ready to stop waiting and start moving. Drop a comment below. What are you stepping into? What fear are you walking away from? What dream are you finally claiming as yours? Because here, you're not just a passive listener. You're part of a global community, movement of people who refuse to settle. People who choose progress over comfort, purpose over excuses, and discipline over distractions. Together, we rise. Together, we keep becoming. And together, we build the future one bold decision at a time. Thank you for being here. This isn't just another motivational message, it's your wake-up call. It's the voice inside you that says, "You're ready, let's go." OD. Subscribe to Stoic today, right now, to receive powerful, mindset-shifting content every week, fuel for your purpose, fire for your discipline, and clarity for your next move. Share this video with someone who's tired of watching life from the sidelines and ready to step into the arena. Your future begins the moment you stop waiting and press play. Let's move. Let's rise. Together.